Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha's Rest. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was,
Did she?
Following up on... Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's Eyrie were keen to talk about their imprisonment.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the... I'll go and find her.
If she's not moved on already.
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried. Doris should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
Ah, Clive. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time I'll keep providing them with whatever they... But if Eastpool's going to survive, as have those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. And if you're wondering why you... Well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it. But I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's like...
All right.
Thanks. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy. They grow better that than something that'll wither away at... And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all... They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right.
I'll take your word.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. I'll go up there and show him my...
I'm sure you will.
Just because the heavens have gone to wreck and ruin, it don't mean we have to. Now, let's get this started.
Nearly done.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
It's been a pleasure.
I'll give your offer some thought, my lady.
How goes the investigation?
Sid? What?
You. I heard you were out here.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long... She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away.
That was her just now, so...
I'd say so. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across the region and is looking to smuggle them back into... After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort. She's dangerous, Sid, but...
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers.
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the...
Let's go. Run like the wind. Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try. This one. So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my... I surrender.
Cid!
Ah, Doris. You know, I'm casting your lot with this criminal of all...
Better fighting for a cause than killing for cause. I'm sorry, Cid. I should have... This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be... She raised me like a daughter. And I did.
It wasn't all terrible. Sure, you were always so eager to learn. And had such clever hands. But you proved yourself a How about it, my little...
I never swore my blade to you. Nor to liberate the bearers. Farewell, master.
You always were a... Perhaps that's the reason I...
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be, and she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court will see that justice is done.
All right.
I am. And thank you for everything.
And I should head back to the hideaway and put
Welcome back, Cid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled.
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway. Oh, and your letter.
I'd been hoping as much. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her... She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sunbreak, and she won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond of... Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't.
I hope so. You had quite the past yourself before you came here, or... Anyway, thanks again, Cid. The Cursebreakers would be lost without Doris.
Keep up the good work.
Ah, what brings you to...
A delivery.
These are Gizar. Martha's keen to cut the apron string. I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be, but they'd long since gone to sea.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers so that they'll be able to...
That's not a... These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing... Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved... Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses.
The Horde is... They're coming, Sir Wade.
Damn it all. I thought we'd have... Gather the men in the square. Send to the...
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek. A veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern... We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just...
What if you could call on
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might...
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. And the bearers, though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians, what help they are able to offer could still prove the
You're right, my lord. I will... My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will, a home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool! Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
If it was numbers you were lack...
Thanks to you.
Me?
Lord Rosfield, my...
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves upon engaging with the Akashic. Each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can.
You're going to lure them into the...
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at with luck. That point will be the village square. The perfect place, and for you and I to...
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong... I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade. Please, leave the last of the fight.
Ha! And let...
Sir Wade!
Then you know what we work together, each shielding the other that no man might fall for Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my...
Then I will do as you...
Suppose we'd better do our bit too, then.
Right you are.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. Not let this village fall. This one. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rosfield!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic Curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's Ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guarded. So Wade, how many Akashic...
Hard to say. My men are still facing some I could order a detachment.
No. You stay here too, Sir Wade. I'll go after the Curl. Join me only when Eastpool...
If you're sure. May the Founder
Come to tell me an Akashic Curl's heading towards the rest?
The Curl was sighted on Rhiannon's Ride back towards Martha's Rest.
Faster! me, Torgal. All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rosfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further. I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it must.
We saved... Thank you, my...
No, Sir Wade, you brought us together.
We never had nothing to call our own before. But now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. But there's no doubt in mine we're free men now. So we have to fight to protect what's...
And we shall. This is our home. And if anyone...
They'll have us.
Come on, then.
This village isn't gonna...
They're not slaves anymore.
No. Your father took pity on the... And I believe if he was still with us today...
I believe you might...
I shall remain here, my lord. And after all, this is my home now, too. And I could hardly call...
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud, all the same. I'll have to pull my weight, too. Can't have... Speaking of which, I ought to be
Can we continue to count on yours?
Of course. And us Rosarians have got to stick together.
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stable. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds.
All right.
Lord Rosfield, do you clearing the goblins from the still? There's one sight that I shall never forget. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face...
So wait. You have all... I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosette...
Thank you. I know the rest of the world...
The hero... It's lucky you came by. Not only did my seeds get delivered, but...
I just did what I...
And it's only right that... Take it, before I...
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back and a home to free bearers.
Well, it was your...
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that. Loath as I am to recall that.
I take it you didn't always see...
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least... He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what he... And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. But my bearers were still right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report... And do you know what he did? And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need...
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing, just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change. He certainly didn't lack for ambition.
Indeed, but the loftier one's ambitions. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people...
Suppose you're... And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come out. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the... It's almost enough to give you a... Anyway, I'd better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some... The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the...
That sounds like a... Good girl. Be safe. I'll need to deal with these ones first. Help me, boy. spherical echo. This is it. Right then. Just two more to find.
Welcome. You've a keen eye. An excellent choice.
Why?
Good girl. Faster! Two down, one to go.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago. Those things I said before.
Oh, Clive, my wards and I may soon...
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne.
The High Card?
Leader of the Council of Elders. Second own, not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his name.
And what does he want with North?
He wants to transform a foundation upon which to build. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire.
He would rob the populace.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly.
What does Captain Philippe make it? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around.
How? by a man whose stated aim is to revive the Empire Philippe's comrades swore. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision now. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost, given the mood around town. Mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite.
No complaint.
Clive, would you, for your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to them. Well, will you try?
I'll see what I can...
Thank you.
Tell me then. In the garrison?
Overseeing the troop.
All right. I may have met this duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Hey, let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the cap...
No, actually. I was hoping I might be...
We're under orders not to let any... But you should be all right. Here's Emma. Wait here.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison, and I shall see it. But tell me, is it...
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to...
Ah, you are worried the expanded garrison... Yet you needn't be. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has... But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed, which is more than can be said for... The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the... with Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that... Plans are already soon enough. These thralls shall learn that they...
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do... If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will... One whose authority... That is why this... So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so, and yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people.
I suspect they're afraid of...
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive... You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own...
Sabine, we have...
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to...
Without an empire, there...
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga will...
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of... It wouldn't hurt to ask them. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Sabine,
as long as you remain, the Vale will...
You needn't fret. The creatures are...
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
All right there. What is...
Just your opinion. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Orov.
Not much. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have... Now he's trying to drive us out completely. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint Tarbuck.
I got peppers to numb your tongue. I put.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain...
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place, and with hardly a word to the dame. This is her...
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she just need his eminence to...
Why, you...
A question. What do you think of the Duke of Or...
You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you got a hat. He thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our... We'll do whatever it...
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
You're the one who was talking to his...
On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not... What do you think of his...
I'm a soldier, mate. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those...
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into... Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me... Look, no one likes all these taxes, and once Sanbreque is back on her feet...
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your...
Well, I mean, look around us. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they've volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gifts, I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do...
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this. Captain.
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, it's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved.
That's right.
Well, she doesn't agree with it.
And she's Thank you, Clive. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Well, thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabelle will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Clive, were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was.
Well, It will certainly help to hold, though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new...
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacked. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and the soldiers, meanwhile, are content to fight, and not just because of the Duke's rank.
I thought had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see. Thank you for trying.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call...
But why?
Because I realised what really... Not following some nobleman's orders for this protecting. I honestly don't know when those monsters, but I'm certain they're not finished. And when they do come back, we need to stand with you to lead us, milady. It was you who finally There's no point following orders if they go again.
Indeed.
All of us. That has always been Northreach's best hope. And one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions... Thank you, Philippe, for showing...
Anything for you. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for North, especially with men like you, and I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke. In the stuff, but I suspect I shall have to call upon your... Until then.
Until then? that Dravozd is still standing. For now, at least.
Clive!
And the Akashic.
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should be enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside there.
Well done.
Welcome. I'd never have guessed, you know. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravozd would turn out to be the realm's keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down, unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoldan, long enough for us two to turn into a pair of...
That your idea of an apology?
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best.
But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave... He left it to me. The best blacksmith... Bloody stupid tradition. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let...
So you wasted half of mine.
You're what Dravozd need. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spend... I may be a selfish prick.
What you had to do was your...
Even if it meant we all...
Enough. You can finish beating each other up once...
Fine.
Yeah. Server.
Sorry, Clive. I should be short enough on time as it still... Give us a mo, would you? I need to get my... You,
We can't afford to...
Right you are. Might be worth having one last... Don't want any nasty surprise. Oh, and... Blackthorn.
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. And they're...
What was that?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open.
Good idea. Get yourselves in...
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight.
Well, let's hope you don't. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barrack. No heroic last stands, you hear me?
August's right. I've seen what... The people here are tough and willing.
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. It won't come to that. Take good care of Dravozd.
Leave it to me. And... give...
All right. Which one of you's first? Apparently not. They're not getting past me. Oh, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You're still in one piece! As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall.
Good.
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later.
Cid! You're even more enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. But mostly,
I'm afraid I've only delayed there's no getting rid of, meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up...
And that's if the flood don't spread. I hate to say it, but the villagers...
That may be, but with ether floods springing up all over, it's no... We'll fortify the gate, and I'll see that they're guarded day and...
All right. Then we'll...
As for you, Black, that's twice you've turned up when, so...
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without...
Too bloody right you shouldn't. I always envied you. You leaving gave me the perfect and from that day on I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. you'd have been the death of this place.
Finally. Something. I hope you see the sense of it eventually.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but... Our work used to be the pride of... Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day. Because... It's not about the craft. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of us miss. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as... Come back to us, Blackthorn. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at this.
That's a kind offer. Kind of. There's people who trust their lives to my steel. But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's...
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to...
I never thought I'd see the...
I'd say that went pretty well.
Even better than I'd...
Sid.
And this is?
A token, but I'm of a mind to make you. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief.
Now hold on, Zol. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel. And I've learned to hone an edge, Odin, but the engravings on that thing are in, and they're not just for show.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravoged in the... I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. So I turned between the two of us. I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman.
Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to you?
As long as he can keep us.
Right. Zoltan.
Here's the scraps you're after.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest. Have you learned anything of note?
Little and less.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will... Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner.
Fallen ruins, I take it.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the... as if protecting the
secrets which...
Should our methods be of interest, mayhap it would please you to observe some...
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect that. If you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be...
All right.
They will be... Might I suggest you take the road? It will lead you straight to the village.
Thank you.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord.
Let's go. Be safe. Oh no. You'll pay for this. Face all these spiders. Whatever that thing is, say it's their leader.
You lose!
Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
I did not recognize you. We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to it.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins. A duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. May the Firebird's flame burn ever.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey, I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Ah, you...
Here.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I did...
Cyril, you served losses which could have been avoided. Had the others not chosen to complete their work, were these your orders?
No. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix.
Even when death is...
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which the Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations. And we live to serve the Phoenix.
Cyril, I know, but allow me to offer you a word. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers provide your survey parties with an escort. That they might live to think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix. Please.
I thank you, if you will permit me to respond. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is as first shield to the Phoenix.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind.
Come on. You deserve a rest. That's all of them. No wine can...
Everything's back the way it was.
Take that, you naughty thing!
Clive!
I just wanted to see how the town's been fed.
Since all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, just as the good lady...
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil. Because of how he's...
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act... Speaking of men, there may be a rather worrying one.
May therein.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united... And they have formed what one could call... And they grow more
We'll fight them all off just like last time. Won't we, Luke?
Of course we will. If we can... The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it, our best hope is to nip these by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill?
How could I...
Victor will fill... I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scout.
I'll go and speak with... A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalimil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want?
He asked for my aid in putting... And he said that you might be able to...
Then you've come at just the right time. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can... But we must strike together, and we must strike soon. At as many...
All right.
There's one upriver.
Leave it with me.
Those ne'er-do-wells want to band together, let them. They'll be no match for us.
Come on.
Yeah!
That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Torgal.
That's him! The one who killed Locke! Fingers! Take his head off!
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the bandits didn't...
No, but...
No.
What is it?
The whole town is saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him. Some of the children spotted him, and when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a Christ...
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these... If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who has made a leader of himself when the...
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one...
You're right.
And now I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. Well, it was...
We're sorry, Lubor, but we just couldn't...
There's nothing to be sorry for. All that matters to me is that you...
Look at him talking to his betters like... All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones...
Once people make up their minds, we need to do something. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them...
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. You head to the Taft. Make Conrad and Natalie remember. They know that Lubor and I are friends. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, I can't promise anything.
And that is all.
Why are you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
He knew all along that he...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but...
I've seen...
As have I, Lord.
That's right.
The rumors that
He'll never be mayor now.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued. In this, at least, he's done the town a service.
Leniency? He pretend...
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you.
So what do you propose? Will you drop...
Perhaps. And they will thank you.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's son?
I assume this...
There's still hope.
But perhaps not in this...
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. We'll talk some sense.
No. And your efforts would be... But Rosina would often tell that steel does not lie. That a blade is a reflection. Yourself be true. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a... But I do not doubt that she was always true to her, and so must I be. I must do what I know to be right. And now, I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have... For only united can they hope to stand against... I'll need to make a...
Don't go, Lubor. We'll be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go.
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the townspeople a
I would not take it, Victor.
Overuse. And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children... I thought you were better, but it seems you had me...
Victor.
Forget it.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe... Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Right then.
If there's anything I can do...
There...
What's happened? Answer the gate. You're right, old man.
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased to...
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randalar has just sent word that But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge... You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
What is it this time?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right.
Thanks, Clive.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their I know, but no buts about it.
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican Army they've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter... But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the Army...
You had no opportunity to make a...
None at all.
El? I saw Vonnie leaving.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually. And at the price they paid, I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone?
Are you offering to be... How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an out. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. Even if I fail to free these bearers, someone needs to prepare the place and keep any...
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... Is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. And if El's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part. So I bid you farewell and safe travel. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make... You go to Randalar and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar, then. I'd better not keep Eloise waiting.
What I wouldn't give for a hot.
This is the end of the road.
When are they gonna let us through?
Ready, go?
Yeah!
Safe.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bear. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves.
You misunderstand. The consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the... It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard... And so we resumed.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them... But what is done is done.
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional... The bearers belong to him.
Who is your boss?
A trader from across... A most demanding fellow, if it's any consequence. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the Voyager. That's what you get when you deal with continent.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little... And with it, my interest in...
My associates will be sorry to...
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But he was right. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those... Their representative hinted at a possible purchase. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer.
So you know...
No. I entertained the consortium's proposal solely so I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said they deserved, I wanted so bad.
Eloise! Word from Cashlock. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can. They need help.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming. I can walk from here.
What's the situation?
Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area...
Just have to pray makes it...
I can do better than that. Ready, go? Run like the wind.
time to fight. Damn it. The leaf is too thick. These creatures have already turned. I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Cid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream. Theodore! Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you! Elle. Theodore. Take care of my sister. Theodore, wait. Goodbye, Elle.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that...
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trade, and I was chosen to inherit. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. A late bloomer. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 50. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the before they could.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing, but he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he... just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo and devoted myself to the fact. But I have never. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night, and the choice I made, and the fact that I would make the same choice. He was never a burden. If anything...
You weren't, Eloise. That he had always been grateful to you for saving him. And that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down.
You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted was so we could be together, Theo.
I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own. To continue helping you however I can. Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Come back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Papio nuts and all.
We were just about to make a start on that.
It's funny, but none of this would... You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather steel, meanwhile. We'll be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of, and that whetstone from the Outer Isles. And the final flourish will be my talented colleague...
A team effort, led by...
Now, save that talk, right?
To the bellows...
Well, bugger me.
The sword to end all sword.
Thank you.
So, does this make you pair the...
This will take more than that to earn us, but we're up for the check.
A list of material.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long run.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something...
That's a weapon I'd like to see.
I was hoping you'd say...
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about...
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's...
Trouble with your gear, or... I never fought me, and if it hadn't been for you, we would... What's that for you, dear? Anything else? So what do I owe the honour? So, will it be? And?
The stew's awful. Thin these days.
Oh, what do you expect?
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts?
Canva lost. It can't be true.
Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for a lesson? How was she? The Enterprise, I mean.
Ah, sis. Good, thanks.
That's brilliant! I'll fit him to the smelter right away. May I... The Telemon furnace!
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid! And I ain't about...
It's fine, really.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure you could just... How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy, it's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but...
Stretchy metal.
That is the spirit. So?
Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dream, maybe even out there. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag...
They'll hardly believe their eyes.
So, she don't need sails?
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised? You earned this. All done?
How are you feeling, Joshua?
Better than I was.
But not nearly as well as you should be. Your cuts and burns may have healed, but your body still bears the burden of every spell cast.
And what would you have had me do? It was no ordinary foe we faced. It was the Warden of Darkness. Yet still, it was not enough. The king could have ended me at any moment, but instead chose to toy with me like a curl does a mouse.
You underestimate yourself.
Oh, it was crystal clear. Only one man established his dominance that day, and that man was Barnabas. I'm sorry, brother. That was ill-spoken. It's just, I have never felt so powerless. And when so many are looking to us for strength, perhaps the prince feels the same. What is this place?
Don't move. Here, it's fresh from the well. Grandmother told me spirits sometimes get lost, and that the lanterns guide them to their proper place. I set one on the river for her when she passed away.
fiend works from the shadows. Was it you who guided my hand then, Ultima? No, not you. This is my doing, my fault, my sin to bear. And for it, I must atone.
Your hurts are healing nicely. It was my poultices that saw you well.
You make them?
And sell them, or try to. Earns me enough for bread, most days.
Forgive me. I have nothing to...
I know, but I couldn't just leave you lying there. You're going then?
Of course. I'm healed. Thanks to you and your poultices.
Will you promise to come back and visit?
Well, Phoenix, it would seem that I owe you my wings.
Perhaps he can find an answer. You will be returning to Waloed soon, I gather.
I see no reason to wait.
Then neither do I.
I can think of a few, but I doubt they'll stop you. You will take your medicine.
Of course, Lady Daya.
Set on leaving already, are you?
How long will it take us to get back to Ash?
Dunno, about the same amount of time it took us to get here. Maybe less, if your uncle can find someone trustworthy to patch up the Enterprise. All depends on where we're putting into port, mind.
Yes. It's not as if we can put ashore wherever we choose. We have to assume that the whole of Ash is hostile, and that we'll be attacked on sight.
Then we must find a place they won't think to look. And I have an idea who might know of one.
The Professor! I'll go and tell you coming!
While you're plotting our course, I'll be in the shelves with your lawsman. I wish to pick his brains about Ultima.
Then I'll talk to Karen about supplies for the journey. They may not be easy to come by in Ash.
Your brother's body won't take much more of this recklessness. You know that, don't you?
I do.
You've seen more of the world these past 5 years than most do in a lifetime. It's a shame you never had a moment to enjoy it.
I trust you wrapped up what?
I still say it were a compliment.
Say it all you like. It doesn't make it true.